What can you tell us about the recent Japan and national security strategy?
In essence, Japan just released the national security strategy in December 16th by the National Security Council and approved by the cabinet. In essence, sort of showcasing a shift in Japan's nominally defense-only posture. Many countries in the region have sort of been responding to elements of the strategy, for example, long-distance strike capabilities, enhanced spending in the defense budget, in fact, a doubling from 1% to 2% over a number of years. And so it's against the backdrop of sort of the deterioration of international relations in Northeast Asia more broadly and the Indo-Pacific that strategy is being viewed, analyzed, and criticized.
There seems to be quite a big shift this time concerning Japan's security posture. And now the government says they want to possess these sort of counter-strike and offensive capabilities. How significant is this?
Yeah, I'm somewhat sympathetic to this shift. I think there's a lot of criticism that Japan is rearming, but actually 2% is considered quite a low percent of defense spending per GDP. In fact, the NATO target of 2% that's often used as a benchmark is historically low for NATO if you think about the deterioration in international relations more broadly. And to be sure, I think rather than marking this as a sign of Japan's remilitarization, which some countries are attempting to push that narrative, really we should see it as Japan trying to strengthen deterrence. I mean, all of us have watched China take over the South China Sea, essentially building out and militarizing islands that block one of the world's largest trade routes. So, in a sense, I think the Japanese national security strategy and its overall posture shift have to be viewed as a long-term response to deteriorating environment.
In terms of Taiwan and security in the Taiwan Strait, Japan has said that this is a high priority, and they've also labeled China as the biggest kind of aggressor. Does this mean that we're going to see Japan play a more active role in the region, or what changes after the strategy?
I think so. I mean, we know, all of us who deal with both countries in this field, how sensitive those types of relationships are, mill to mill, or politically. No one wants to provoke Beijing. The problem is Beijing is to some extent driving all this with its rearmament, and as I said, its sort of rhetoric about Taiwan, and the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation being also requiring unification by hook or by crook. If the PRC can stop painting itself in that corner and driving itself towards military solution, I think Japan would prefer to maintain the status quo. But in order to have a credible deterrence, then you are going to require trilateral military coordination and cooperation. You cannot simply defend a third country without communicating directly to it. So yes, over time, I believe that due to the PRC's actions, you may start to see at least initially covert and then gradually overt coordination between the three militaries.